Hello folks, Junkie Rock 13 here. Everything vaping related, it's Junkie Rock 13. The real name's Ross Sanders. I'm here bringing you another little review on the Innokin iTaste MVP. This was sent to me by Innokin for the purposes of review. And we're going to take a close look at it, see what I think about it, see how it vapes. And I do have another giveaway for you folks. So stay tuned, see what I got. Okay folks, here we go. Here is the close-up of the Innokin iTaste MVP in the unboxing. Now it comes in this nice hard shell plastic case. Okay, now this I have been using this device for over a week now. I would like to add that this has been opened and been used, so this is not the exact way that it came. Here is the device. It is a 2600 milliamp hour battery device. On the one side it says taste it, love it, and on the other side we have the iTaste MVP logo with your power button. On top we have a 510 connection with Ego adapter. Over here we have your display screen, and on the bottom we have your charging ports. I'm going to get into detail with that. Let's see what else the kit comes with. Okay, now there's a little card showing what the device has and where the certain features are. We have a unique charging cable. On one end we have a charging cable for an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod, and the two over here you have a micro and a mini USB. There is the iTaste logo on the charger, and it is about 2 feet long. Alright, and has a regular USB 2.0 on this side. Put that right there. Right here we have what I like to call the tank ring. This ring acts as a beauty ring actually, and screws down onto the device. So if you would like to use Clearomizer tanks or Genesis atomizer tanks, it looks a little bit nicer. It makes it a little bit cleaner form factor. Okay, you can also use this ring for a drip well. It does not leak. You can put atomizers on there, and if you do leak in there, it's not going to run down the side of your devices. I would like to excuse my dog is snoring. She's about 4 feet away from me and she's snoring, so it's pretty loud. So if you hear some heavy breathing and loud snores, it's from my dog. Okay, the other things that come with this device kit is you get not one but 2 Clearomizers. These Clearomizers are kind of unique. They're made by Innokin. They are Dual Coil Clearomizers. They are not the normal run-of-the-mill Stardust or CE4, CE5 Clearomizers. They do have replaceable heads or rebuildable, but the unique thing about these Clearomizers is that they're dual coil and they have 4 wicks. Normally you see 2 wicks coming down out of the coil, but this one has 4. And I have never been a normal Clearomizer type guy, but these have been vaping very, very well, and I'm going to do a full review on these Clearomizers coming up in the weeks to come. Actually, probably next week I will be doing them. Okay, so that is what comes in the kit. I'm going to put this Clearomizer back in there, throw the box off to the side, throw the Clearomizer off, and just talk real quick about the device. Now the device, like I said, is 2600 milliamp hours. that is a great length of battery. I have used this device and it lasted me 2 full vaping days. If that can, any device that does that for me is great in my book. It has been a stellar device for battery, and the output of power has been great. It's a nice solid device. It's not heavy, but you can feel that it is well built. It is made out of metal. It is not a plastic shell. I believe it's like an aluminum, and this is probably like a chrome brass or something like that. It does have a 510 connection with an ego adapter, and that will entitle you to use your Kanger T3s. Okay, I know a lot of people like these Clearomizers, so you are able to use the Kanger on them. Okay, or any other device or any other Clearo or atomizer that may have ego adapters, you can use them. The other thing is we do have this bottom charging situation, and it is able to charge other devices. So if you would like to charge when your battery is full charge in your MVP, you can charge your cell phone or your iPod or iPad. What you would do is you would take this USB, install it on this side, and now you would flip the switch, and oh wait a minute, you would flip it to on, and now you would be able to charge your cell phone. And I have used it twice to charge my cell phone when I was out and about. My cell phone has a horrible battery, and I've been using this device all day long. I charged my cell phone up to 45%, and I still use this device for the rest of the day. So that gives you a little idea on the battery life of the device. Now I will say one thing about this USB port. A few vapors that I have been talking to have been complaining that they have issues with this USB port for charging it. What they said was while they were pushing in the charger that it came loose and broke apart in there. So what I am going to say is I have had no issues with it, and the 4 people that I am very close with that own MVPs have had no issues with it. But if you do have an MVP, just be gentle when you're pushing this charging cable in there, and you line it up correctly, or you don't put it in right at all. Okay, when you put it in there, just be gentle with it. Don't be hard with it if you are using it as a pass-through while it's charging and you're vaping. So just be gentle with that USB port. Let me turn this device on. 5 clicks on, and you notice that it is on now. And over here, I'm just going to discuss this display really quick. You'll notice that as soon as I hit one button, a puff counter comes on, and it will tell you the voltage that you have it set to. The puff counter is set to 1 right now because I just turned it off and on. When I get to the voltage, you can go down in 0.1 increments all the way to 3.3, and it does not round robin. You can go up all the way to 5 volts, and it does not round robin. So 3.3 to 5 volts are your settings. These settings have been very accurate. I have been very satisfied with the power of the MVP. It has not been lacking power, and even when the battery is weakening, I did not notice a weaker vape towards the end of the battery life. Now right here in the power switch, it is flush with the box, so you will have to feel around for it if it's in the dark. But because there are some little let me say cuts in the plastic, you can feel them there. and you do notice that the switch is there. Excuse me, I do have a little cold. And the switch is very nice because when you are weakening the battery, it will change from green. You notice it's green now. It will turn to yellow, and then when the battery is dead, it will turn to red. Okay? Let me just put on the clearomizer here. And just show you real quick about the puff counter. I will just hit it once. And then you'll notice that because I've been playing with the button over here, that the puff counter is now at 11. I will hit it one more time, and you'll notice the puff counter goes to 12. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about the puff counter. I kind of think it's okay. It kind of gives you an idea of what you're vaping throughout the day. I really don't use it that much, but at nighttime, maybe when I'm switching my thing, my voltage, I'll look at it and be like, oh my God, 400 puffs today. That was cool. It really don't mean anything. If you leave your device on, it will give you a time frame of how many puffs you have had on that battery. So it will give you an idea of how much time is left on the battery. Alrighty folks, there is the close-up of the MVP, Innokin iTaste MVP. See how he vapes and see what I think about it. Okay, so there you go. There's the Innokin iTaste MVP close-up and unboxing. Let's talk about how she vapes and see what I think about it. Now this is set at 4.1 volts, and this is the Dual Coil Clearomizer that came. I did not rebuild it or anything. I do have some Vape Dudes Black Honey in here. I believe it's a 50-50 blend. It's hitting great. It's vaping great. It feels solid in the hand. There's very little that I can say that is wrong with this device. It's solid. It really is. You know you are feeling a device. I've had other devices that were plastic in this form factor. They were built cheaper and pretty much right around the same price tag as the MVP. I will say that the button is a flatter button, so it's not raised. You can't feel it that well except for the little outliner of the button, but I've gotten used to it. If the button was on top or over here like a little trigger button, it would have been a better idea if I was making it, but I really don't, I'm not complaining about the button. I did get used to it and I like it now. The bottom, I will say, the little switch, the on-off switch for using this device as charging your cell phone or your iPod, when you set it down, it does have a little wiggle on it because it's not perfectly flat. The screen does come with a little tight or little plastic film on it. And I was discussing with somebody in a hangout one day, and they were like, my screen is all scratched up and it doesn't have a film on it. I was like, there is a film on it, take it off. And they were like, no, it's not, it's the screen. I was like, get right into it and take it off. They did it and they're like, oh my God, it looks so much nicer. So if you do have one, you can take off the little film that is on the screen. The screen is nice. It's just a typical red digital screen right there with, you know, 2 numbers for a puff counter, or excuse me, it does have three numbers because you can go up to 999 puffs. I haven't done that because I've been shutting it off. I know the puff counter is not something that's going to suit everybody. A lot of people have been talking about the puff counter on other devices and it's a useless tool. you know, it's a tool that can be added to these devices. Useless, I don't want to say it's useless, because when you're using a puff counter, you'd be able to tell how much you've been vaping on that charge. So if you have 600 puffs on that charge, I know they're going to be all different. This one's going to be 4 seconds, this one's going to be 3 seconds, this one's going to be 10 seconds. So the battery is going to be determined by that, the charge. So, but it gives you an idea. If you have 500 vapes or puffs on it, and you know that 600 puffs is your battery limit, so you know you have 100 puffs left, you might not be able to take it out all day to work. That's the way I've been using it. I haven't been using it as a cut down tool. I'm only going to take 75 puffs today or 30 puffs today or whatever. I don't use it like that. I like this device because I have been using it with the Kangers, with these dual coils, and with tanks with the little beauty ring on it. Now I'm sure you've seen that the beauty ring does not line up perfect with it, so it does hang off just a little micro of like a little millimeter there, but it looks good with a tank on it. Okay, and it works great with a Genesis on it also. Let me see what I have this set at. 4.1, perfect. I really do like this device. I like it. I recommend it. It's good. So I do have a giveaway. I have an MVP that can be yours. So what you need to do to win the MVP is be a subscriber to this YouTube channel and also comment on this video, just like every other giveaway I've ever done. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you comment on the video. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and you're not going to get charged for commenting on my video. So this MVP can be yours. I am going to give it 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today's date, I will end the video or end the contest, and everybody who entered, I will do a random number generator and I will give away this MVP and I will ship it off to you. Everybody is able to enter the contest, everybody around the world. I will say one thing, I will send it out and I will put tracking on it. But if the device does not get to you for some reason, if you're international, I cannot replace the device. So everybody enter the contest, and I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I hope everybody makes it through tomorrow's apocalypse, or today's, and be good to one another. Keep on vaping, everybody.